Our Love created the Write It Out Prize this year to honor a professional playwright living with HIV with support from Billy Porter and GLAAD. The prize winner will receive $5,000 and dramaturgical support in creating new theatrical work. This prize adds on to the annual Write It Out program, a series of free virtual playwriting workshops led by Love and playwright Tim Dwight for writers both established and emerging across the country. These programs are produced in partnership with National Queer Theater, Pride Plays, Moby, and the Each Other Project. I would like to personally congratulate the artists involved with the Write It Out Writers Workshop, as well as the inaugural winner of the Write It Out Prize, who is a dear friend. We went to college together, and I have had the great privilege to watch him thrive in this life and in this industry. The incomparable Dominic Colón. Congratulations, my friend, congratulations. And congratulations to all. We can't wait to hear your voices and hold your stories. And thank goodness for this program that will enable us to hear authentic narratives about HIV, because it is through positive, factual representation and uplifting, empowering visibility that we take on and help defeat the stigma that persists to this very day. Creating access for artists living with HIV to tell their stories creates dialogue and helps end the misinformation and the antiquated thinking that persists. HIV no longer has to be a death sentence. Our lives can be and are healthy and thriving. And these are the stories that need to be told, seen, and shared. Thank you. And congratulations again to Dominic and to every artist involved with Write It Out.
Thank you, Javier. Thank you for that word. Hi, I am Donja R. Love, the creator of Write It Out, as Javier so beautifully said. Write It Out is a playwrights program and newly launched prize for people living with HIV. And I am so excited to hold space and to have a conversation with the inaugural Write It Out recipient, Dominic Colón. Please come on into the space.
Oh,
so, y'all, I just want y'all to know that Dominic is a fierce actor and writer. In his play, The War I Know, is a beautiful work that is set in the 1980s Bronx, and we are with a family as they're navigating the AIDS epidemic. It is a stunning work. It is a stunning work that holds space for a group of people that we seldom see on stage. I am so honored to be here with you now, Dominic. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm honored to be here with you. You know, like we did a little pre-conversation, and like this is how we met. Except, I was interviewing Javier about sugar in our wounds, and to be here, now as a playwright and to be the recipient of this award, and for it to be so just, received so well, and the fact that like I'm the inaugural recipient. Like
that part, be clear.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful, and I've been a fan of you for such a long time, and yeah, hearing you talk about this work is just my heart. I got chills. They multiply.
The work is beautiful. When I read the play, I laughed. I gasped. I was talking to the characters like, now why you done did that, right? Like it was so alive. And I'm just so interested. What made you decide to write The War I Know? It's such a stunning work. What made you decide to write it?
Need. I never saw my story on stage like that. And I got tired of feeling unseen. In this business, we we see so much theater, like, you know that, and oftentimes like the stories don't reflect us. You know, the people don't always look like us, and specifically when it comes to HIV narratives. And that is what really pushed me and motivated me. I have been living with this story in my head for a while. You know, characters come to me, but I'm not that writer who like writes every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I have it in my head, and I would be able to like pitch you a whole play without having a page done. Like, yeah, and The War I Know was very much that. You know, but my middle name was procrastination, but things come when they're supposed to come. You know, and I saw a play. I saw a play on Broadway. You know, The Inheritance, and I have some feelings around it. And I allowed myself to feel those feelings and process those feelings. And in that, you know, as someone who grew up, born and raised in this city, which, you know, I will always rep for, keeping it real, I never felt so unseen. Cause I was like, fuck, yo, like, like, well, just because, you know, in terms of my experiences being a young gay man who came of age during that specific time and who experienced such loss, you know, I couldn't, you know, and I was angry and I was sad. And at that same time, the word of COVID-19 had just started like to whisper, and I decided to, all right, now I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna do this, but I still didn't do it because my middle name is procrastination. It's Dominic Colón. But then I remember talking about it to a friend who was in Labyrinth. He was like, yo, that shit is sick. And I was like, yeah, you know, he's like, maybe you get it together, you know, you could, you know, get in the summer intensive. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna write it. I'm writing. And then we in quarantine. And everyone's like talking about how like they gonna do the next King Lear, and I'm watching.
Everybody's ready to write the next.
Everybody writing, and I'm eating Oreos and watching Oz, like straight up. And it wasn't until 2 months like into it, because those first, I mean, were rough. Were rough for me.
Yeah.
Rough for me. I wasn't trying to write or do anything, but it was one of those things where May came around. May 1st, to be exact, came around, and I was like, this shit ain't going nowhere. Like, I have to decide how I want to experience this. And, you know, I'm a Taurus. And yes, I feel like we had this conversation. When's your birthday?
Mine is May 2nd. You?
May 15th. May 15th.
Taurus family.
Yes, Taurus. Well, you know how we are. You know what? You know, sometimes
Absolutely.
We don't like change. We hold on to shit, you know?
Absolutely. Yes, we do.
And part of that, and I didn't want to hold on. And part of it, so my friend had gifted me a session with a healer that day, May 1st, 2020. And I was like, I'm gonna start my birthday with a healing session. We're gonna do this. And it was, I call it Reiki Plus, because it's like Reiki with a whole bunch of other shit. And it was virtual, first time I ever did it. And I could feel, swear to God, I could feel the energy get lifted. And I felt something changed. 15 minutes later, I got a call from my boy. And he's like, yo, what's up with your play? And I was like, what do you mean, what's up with it? He's like, yo, the dates changed. He was like, you think you can get me something in like 2 weeks? I'm like, not a pay, nothing written. And I'm like, all right, I got you. May 14th, I handed in the first act of this.
That's the universe.
That is the universe. That's God. I mean, I do nothing without God. Like, I know God is just, I'm here working.
That is so beautiful.
God's working. Yeah.
Universe. And so I'm so interested in just like hearing, I'm just clocking what you're saying in terms of there was a need, right? You wrote it because there was a need. You experienced a play where you didn't feel seen. And then the universe created space, right, for you to tell this story, this beautiful story. I'm so interested then, what made you decide to apply for the Write It Out prize, right? What made you say, I want to do this thing?
Again, spirit.
Mm.
Spirit told me, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get it. And I'm gonna tell you why that was important. Because I've been positive almost 17 years in 2022. And I have done, for the past 10 years, I have dedicated my life to healing.
Mm-hmm.
There, in 2011, I don't know if I would have been able to say, in 10 years, you're gonna write a play about your experience, or this, and you're gonna be able to, like, I didn't know if I was gonna be here the next day, yet alone, but it was one of those moments where, like May 1st, where it was like, you got to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make a choice to how you gonna live. And I chose to live, and I chose to heal, and I chose to get therapy and do that fucking hard, fucked up, at times, work that it takes to heal yourself. And applying for the Write It Out prize honestly was the next step in my healing. Yeah, because I've done so much work on myself, but I have yet to come out publicly, and all of my work is dedicated. You know how they always say you write about one thing and then that's all? My work is about people stepping into the best versions of themselves.
Ooh.
About healing, it's about liberation. All my work reflects that. And I was like, with regards to this play, I can't do the work that spirit, that God has put me to do. I can, but I can't do it in the way that I need to do it without being open about my status.
And when I read the work and when I read your personal statement, particularly in the work, right? Because the personal statement is you, right? The work is characters that you create. In the work, it felt so personal, right? Like it felt like someone navigating to get to healing, right? And I remember calling you to let you know that you were the recipient, and like the moment that we had and you talking about like the healing, right? It was just so beautiful. So to think of you as this inaugural recipient, I'm so interested, I'm so curious. And what do you plan on doing with the prize, right? What work are you going to create? What do you want to say?
So I remember I have so much to say. The war, I do. I mean, I feel so blessed to be able to say it. And with the war, I know I originally conceived it, when I was first writing it in my head, I was like, oh, there's a play. But then once COVID happened in quarantine, and I found myself being triggered by a lot of the language, about this mysterious thing that people were getting, but nobody knew what it was. And it was affecting, and it was affecting us first. And now others. And I became that 10-year-old kid again. I became that scared 10-year-old little boy who didn't know what was going to happen. And I was like, fuck. This is a story, So that's when it became a trilogy. It became a trilogy that explores the impact that HIV has had on the Latino community from 1987 up through COVID-19, tracking those same characters, those who make it the length of the 3 plays, because not everybody does. The first show, The War I Know, uses war, kind of like as a metaphor for what, I mean, not even metaphor, what war, like what HIV, what crack did, to my people in the Bronx, what my family. The second play takes place on the first anniversary of 9/11. So the first play is all about destruction. The second play is all about rebuilding. It takes place on the first anniversary of 9/11. That's the first act. And then the second act takes place the night before Barack Obama's first inauguration. And then the third play, which some people view have had a chance to see, I got a micro commission from the Latinx Playwright Circle, and I used it to write a short play that actually serves as the first scene of the third play. So the
And you
third
wrote
play,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
wrote
And
that. I had to text you after you were saying thank you. Saying thank you for your words.
Yeah, thank you. No, that is, no, thank you. And thank you for loving it, and for, I love it. I love that. I love that piece. I love where it's going. I see where it's going. But that play, for those of you who haven't seen, it begins on the night before the Broadway shutdown. So for you, so you saw it. So Javier plays grown up Eggy.
Yes.
So that's the connection. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And so I am so grateful that you exist. I am so grateful that the world has you and your words. I am so excited for the stories that you are going to tell and for what you're going to do for our community of individuals living with HIV, specifically for your community of Latinx individuals living with HIV and who knows individuals living with HIV is so necessary. And I am honored that you are in this space being this world. I am honored that you are our inaugural recipient. And I'm also really curious, on this World AIDS Day 2021, what message do you want to leave with viewers? What do you want them to know about our community, about our stories, right? What do you want to say to them?
So can I share a quick little story real quick?
So this is your space.
Okay, no, because I can talk. So
Word.
So I started playwriting. I came up as an actor, but I directed a youth theater company for a while that did HIV prevention through theater. And the irony of that is why I ran that company for 12 years. That's when I serial converted. And World AIDS Day was always the busiest day of the year, for us. We would, one stop, one to the other. And I just always remember hearing people, testifying and speaking on, HIV being, the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I remember being in a space for a long time where I was like, y'all fucking lying. And I wasn't there. And I could not understand, how you gonna say that? And then I had my message from the spirit where I decided that that's not how I wanted to live, and I wanted to heal, and healing became my priority. And now 10 years later, I'm here, and I love myself. I love Dominic. I love me, and I am grateful. I am so grateful, and I understand what they meant because I love my journey. I love my journey, and I would not, and I say this with 100% fucking certainty, I would never take anything back. Amen. Because I love where I've been now, and because where I've been, it made me who I am. So if anybody is kind of in that space, trust that you are the blessing. That you are the blessing. You may not feel it right now, but it's working, and you are worthy, so allow yourself to be the blessing and be someone else's blessing. So that's
that is a beautiful, beautiful word that I know so many individuals need to hear, right? On top of your beautiful plays, on top of the beautiful stories that you share that folks need to experience, right? What you just said is also something that I know so many folks in our community needs to hear, right? To get to a point of loving themselves exactly where they are in their journey of living with HIV is so necessary.
Because everyone's trying to break us that has since we were little, that's part of what the play's about. It's just you ain't gonna break me. It's done. There's a line, and in my play, and it's not from from a character specifically talking about HIV, but he's like, yo, this guilt ain't mine to carry.
Mhm.
And that's what today is about. That's what my healing process is about. And I wish just healing, liberation, whatever it is, to everyone out there, because I'm here because of it, and I'm here, and like I'm not fucking perfect, but at least my goal is to be better than I was yesterday.
Absolutely. Amen. People are going to get this healing. People are going to get this healing. And with your work, I know for sure they will. Thank you so much. Congratulations on being, again, the inaugural recipient.
Wait, say it again, say it again, say it again.
The inaugural recipient. And for those who need to know what that means the first recipient of the Write It Out prize. Congratulations. I am so excited for the work that you are going to create, for the work that you're going to put into this world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I also want to say, I'll be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the individuals that helped make Write It Out possible. National Queer Theater, Pride Plays, Mobies, Broadway Cares, Equity Fights, AIDS, the Each Other Project. Thank you all so much. And a special thank you to Mr. Billy Porter and to GLAAD for giving the coin to make the Write It Out prize possible. Thank each and every single one of these organizations and individuals, and also to the folks that are joining us right now. If the spirit so moves you, please make a donation to Write It Out so that this program, this prize can continue, and you can go to letswriteitout.com to make your donation. Again, that is letswriteitout.com to make your donation. Any amount, any coin will make a huge difference. So thank you all. And again, thank you, Dominic. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your words. Thank you for you. And congratulations, boo.
Oh, thank you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. You continue to inspire me. You are doing the work. You are changing the world. And I'm so grateful that you exist.
Thank you. I love you. Bye, everyone.